It is time to give Baby Blue a little facelift. What's up everybody, it's PJ the Great. I hope you're having a super beautiful day. And if you're new here, I do videos just like this as well as ADHD tips. So if that sounds like your jam, consider subscribing. And to all my returning subscribers, what's up great ones? Welcome back. Alright, so I got a mess all over the table here because I have decided to upgrade Baby Blue. Now the reason why I did this is because I wanted to future-proof her so I won't have to deal with tinkering with her for the next 3 to 5 years. Now, as she was perfectly fine, running like a charm, doing everything that I ever asked of her. But I wanted to put her in a position where I could set it and forget it for the next 3 to 5 years. And this is what we're gonna go over. All the parts that I use. Some of the parts are brand new, some of the parts are from the original Baby Blue, because this upgrade is gonna cause her name to change to Baby Blue 2.0. Now the first part, I'm not gonna pick it up because I don't wanna mess up anything. You'll see right down there, that is the Ryzen 9 3900X. And no, it is not the XT. Why? Because I don't believe in paying $75 extra just for 100 megahertz more in performance. That's ridiculous. I am not doing it. So I was able to pick that up for $411 on Amazon.com. I think it's a really good deal, but Newegg just had their sales this past week and they were selling it for $389. So I could have saved 20 bucks, but c'est la vie. What are you gonna do, right?
You know I wouldn't trip. 12
cores, 24 threads. It should be a beast for all of my video editing needs. And it will serve me pretty well in my gaming and streaming as well. Housing said 3900 is my new motherboard that I picked up that I thought I needed. I'll share that story a little bit later. But this is an ASRock B550 Phantom Gaming Velocita. I think that's how you pronounce it. I hope it's the way you pronounce it because that sounds cool. Velocita. So this is a B550 motherboard. I think going to this from my old ROG Crosshair 6 Hero by Asus, that was an X370 motherboard. Going from X370 to B550 in my opinion is still a huge upgrade. And man, I was just looking at like the power setup on this comparison to that Crosshair 6. And this thing is beefy compared to that X370 board. So I think I made a wise choice with this. Now it's kind of interesting that I went with ASRock because I'm really not a fan of ASRock motherboards. I do have one in my HTPC in my living room and it works. Just not a fan of the UEFI. So find it kind of shocking that I went with this. I originally went with the, what was it, the Roll Strix Gaming F. But it showed up dead on arrival, so then I got the ASRock. And what better way to get over your disliking of a product by forcing yourself to use it? Yep, that's it. That is a Silicon Power 256 gigabyte NVMe. No, it is not Gen 4 because I don't think Gen 4 is necessary for me right now. The reason why I picked this up is because I wanted it to be my new video editing scratch disk. And I think going NVMe is going to be the best thing for like speed. And why not take advantage of the fact that I have 2 NVMe slots on this board now. ROG Crosshair 6 only had 1. So now that we got all the new parts out of the way, we got a smorgasbord of previously owned parts that is going into Baby Blue 2.0. Now let's quickly go over them. You'll see right here, this is my oil box, my 64 gigabytes of RAM, moving over from Baby Blue to Baby Blue 2.0. Samsung H60 Cubo 1 terabyte SSD. I'm going to throw that into Baby Blue 2.0, and believe it or not, I'm actually going to move my OS and apps over to that because I said it in a previous video and I still stand behind it. You really don't see the performance difference from having an NVMe and an SSD as your boot drive. The difference is so like minute. So that's the reason why I'm doing that, because my Inland Premium 1 terabyte NVMe that I have in Baby Blue, now that is going to become an extra storage spot for more games, because I do have Segway 2 terabyte Micron 1100 SSD for my games, and it is full. So now I'm going to start moving games over to that Inland Premium 1 terabyte NVMe. Other things, let's see here, the power supply. This time actually the Seagate Focus Gold 80 Plus Gold 850 watt power supply. So that is being moved over to 2.0. And I have a couple of things that are not seen on this table. I have two 4 terabyte SSHDs that I'm throwing in there just for additional storage, because why not? Hey, I'm future proofing. Gotta have all the storage, right? So throwing those in there. And is there anything else from the old Baby Blue that I'm missing? The GeForce RTX 2060 Super by Gigabyte, that is coming over to 2.0. This is going to be, this card is amazing. It's amazing. It does what I needed to do. But it is probably going to become a placeholder, because when the 3000 series comes out, I'm either gonna upgrade to a 3060 or a 3070 in that series, or since that comes out, the 20 series, they should drop in price, then I'll move myself up to a 2080 Super. So that is the plan, but for right now, 2060 Super. And I almost forgot another new part that I bought. This is a ID Cooling Auraflow X 240 millimeter ARGB AIO. I picked this bad boy up. This is a snow edition because I want to give a little bit better cooling performance to the Ryzen 9 3900X. Now, there's no doubt in my mind that my Corsair H50 could have handled it, because I had it in a push-pull config with 2500 RPM fans, 2 of them. But I decided to pick this up because I always wanted a 240 mil AIO, and I always wanted one in white because I am ghosting out to the best of my ability, Baby Blue 2.0. So that is all the parts. Now let's talk about how I feel about its performance, because unfortunately I don't have any B-roll segment of me putting this all together, because it was a pain in the neck to build a new computer from new parts while stripping out old parts from your existing machine. I started filming it, started getting like annoyed, and stopped filming it. So the next segment is, am I happy with my upgrade Baby Blue 2.0? So the upgrade process is complete, and I now have Baby Blue 2.0, my personal rig, my main rig that I'm not going to have to touch for another 3 to 5 years. Now let's answer a couple of questions. Am I happy with this upgrade? Well, I've learned a couple of things in the process, and I would like to share them with you right now. All right, so the first thing that I learned is you should test your components before you do a build, because this is the second time I got burned this way by not testing and building a computer, putting it all together, only to find out that the motherboard doesn't work. And that's what happened with Baby Blue 2.0. As mentioned, originally picked up an Asus ROG Strix Gaming F, and the motherboard didn't work, so I had to send it back, and that's how I ended up with a Velocita from ASRock. So that was the one thing that I learned. And in that process, my old 2700, I promised to sell it to my friend Davey, the one that I did that almost ready for prime time gaming PC build. I had to sell it to him because he was expecting it, so I had to go back to using my Ryzen 5 1600 AF. And Used it for a week, and that thing performs well as a daily driver. I'll probably do a separate video about that. I mean, at the end of the day, it is going to be worth it because that wasn't the point. It could have performed exactly the same as my Ryzen 7 2700 or my Ryzen 5 1600 AF for that matter. The point was I wanted to do this because I don't like tinkering with my main rig. I am a computer guy, I am a tech guy, I love to tinker, but I don't mind tinkering with my HTPC, I don't mind tinkering with my Hackintosh, I don't mind building PCs for friends and family and stuff like that. But when it comes to my main rig, I want it to just work and work for a long time because that is my workhorse and I don't want anything to happen to it. So I just want it to work and work well and work for a long time. So that was the reason why I did this upgrade and took her up to 2.0. Another thing that I learned too is I've done a lot of research online and I watched a couple of YouTube videos about it, and that is not doing a fresh install when you're building a new system. They say you can do it, but you might run into some hiccups. Man, did I run into some hiccups. The hiccups were like insane. I mean, like every time I would start up my computer, blue screen, blue screen, blue screen. And right now I got it running stable now without having to reinstall Windows. But just to give you a heads up, it is a PETA, especially when you're moving brands, because now when I turn on my computer, I get these messages that are associated with my old Asus motherboard and I can't delete them for the life of me. I'm gonna figure it out. I know I'm gonna figure it out. Just need to do a little bit more research. But just to give you guys and gals a heads up, if you're gonna be building a new machine and you're gonna be moving your Windows drive over to that new machine, it is not gonna be all cupcakes and rainbows. It's gonna be some hoops that you're gonna have to jump through. And that last thing that I wanted to talk about, I kind of touched upon it in the beginning of the video, was picking up that ASRock B550 motherboard. Now, the only reason why I picked it up is because I thought I needed it, because I thought my Ryzen 9 3900X could not work on my Crosshair 6 Hero motherboard. I had this happen to me before. I actually bought the Ryzen 9 3900X last summer and tried to install it and it didn't work. Well, I installed it into the ASRock motherboard and it was doing the same thing that my Rogue Crosshair 6 was doing. So I was like, okay, what are the odds that I got two bad Ryzen 9 3900X processors? Yeah, slim and none. So I did a little research and come to find out, I had a Bluetooth and Wi-Fi PCIe card installed that was causing the issue. So at the end of the day, I really didn't need to pick up the Velocita. I could have stuck with my Crosshair 6 Hero because it would have worked just fine. It was the PCIe card that was causing the issues. Now when I realized this, I was like, do I return the Velocita? And I kind of figured no, I got it all built. And like I said, I want to future-proof myself for the next 3 to 5 years. 3 years down the line, I may want to pick up 4950X or 5950X, and this motherboard is going to be compatible with it, and that Rogue Crosshair 6 Hero was definitely not going to be compatible with it. It was at the end of its road as far as like with the 3000 processors. It was that and no more. So at the end of the day, it was an upgrade that wasn't needed right now, but circle back, future proofing. If you liked the video, do me a favor and give it a big old thumbs up. But if you hated it, you can give it a thumbs down. But no matter what you do, don't forget to click that subscribe button and click the bell right next to it so you'll be notified every time I upload new videos. And I gotta do an ADHD video. I have to. I haven't done one in a while. I gotta get it done. Sorry, I'm gonna get it done. But I've just been on this tech kick as of late. So I'm working on it. Trust me. Thank you for your patience. And until I see you in the next video, this is PJ the Great saying Audi 5000G. Baby Blue 2.0. I'm happy with it. Really, really happy. Future proof. But boy, do I have a story to share with you guys and gals about the overall performance. Shockers. If you like this video, do me a favor and let the phone ring while I'm trying to shoot a video.